My name is Christopher Roby. I'm an instructor at the University of Tampa, and I've been using Cengage's Mankiw textbook and MobLab for several years. So I use MobLab in a few different ways. Certainly there's a whole set of surveys and different things like that where I'll use those for classroom response system type questions, or I'll use surveys as experiments sometimes too. But generally the way that I use experiments is some combination of I'll sometimes use experiments to introduce a topic. So supply and demand, for instance, I will just have them play through a simple double auction market where they can figure out by themselves and by going over the results with me that they're able to see that markets converge to equilibrium without any interference. And then sometimes I'll use experiments as a good way to review the topic. Oftentimes I'll do that with like comparative advantage. So we talk about, okay, how trade can result in higher consumption outside of a PPF. That's something I like to review later because it's kind of easy to get lost in the shuffle because it's kind of the first major topic that you go over. And then sometimes I'll just use games and experiments concurrently with the information that I'm going through. A lot of the comments that I get from students about MobLab are essentially that it makes it really fun. And it makes class fun, it makes it enjoyable. They're able to kind of, interact with their peers and joke around with me a little bit. And I think too, it is a great way to engage students' competitiveness. I certainly try to emphasize, okay, here's who did best in this game, and they'll, get really excited and into it. You get the ones that are disappointed. They're like, oh, and it's really cool. And I think too, one of the things that a lot of students will tell me is that and this is something they generally just tell me is, it made it easier to interact with their classmates. So one of the things I love about MobLab is it lessens the social distance between students, and it makes them more comfortable interacting with their classmates and participating in these experiments and talking about their strategies. Really excited about the Cengage and MobLab partnership because I think it's going to really give my students a lot more comprehensive learning experience in economics.